Sisi reviews banking performance and urges boost to dollar inflows and reserves. Egypt welcomes UN resolution endorsing New York declaration on two-state solution. And Egypt stresses Arab-Islamic unity ahead of Doha summit. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has reviewed Egypt's banking performance and foreign currency reserves in a high-level meeting with senior officials. The president met Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Central Bank Governor Hassan Abdullah, and his financial advisor Ahmed al-Shazli to discuss measures to boost dollar inflows and shore up foreign reserves. Officials said Egyptian foreign currency resources hit record levels in August, covering obligations and generating a surplus. The talks also covered reducing inflation, sustaining flexible exchange rates, and lowering external debt ratios, which the central bank stressed remain within safe limits. Sisi called for expanding reserves to secure development and financing and ensure stable supplies of essential goods. Egypt has renewed its call for a nuclear-free Middle East ahead of next week's IAEA General Conference in Vienna. In a statement, Cairo urged all regional states to join the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and place their facilities under full IAEA safeguards, stressing the need for transparency and an end to double standards in dealing with nuclear programs. Egypt highlighted its long-standing support for creating a nuclear weapon-free zone since 1974's UN initiative, saying the move is vital for regional and global security. It also cited the binding 1995 NPT Review Conference resolution on the Middle East, warning that failure to implement it undermines the treaty's credibility and fuels the risk of an arms race. Egypt has extended condolences to the Democratic Republic of Congo after two boats sank in the country's northwest, killing and injuring many. In a statement, Cairo expressed its deep sympathy to the government and people of the DRC, offering heartfelt condolences to the victims' families and wishing the injured a speedy recovery. Egypt also reaffirmed its full solidarity with Congo as it faces the aftermath of the tragic accident. Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the UAE and the US have issued a joint call to end the war in Sudan. In a joint statement, the quartet urged an inclusive, transparent 9-month transition and stressed the need to halt arms flows fueling the conflict. Egypt's foreign ministry reaffirmed its commitment to Sudan's unity, sovereignty and institutions. Egypt has welcomed the UN General Assembly's adoption of a resolution endorsing the New York Declaration on implementing the two-state solution. The resolution passed with the support of 142 countries, reaffirming the Palestinian rights to self-determination and the establishment of an independent state on the 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. Cairo said the broad backing reflects overwhelming international support for Palestinian rights. Egypt urged all nations to work towards implementing the declaration's outcomes to revive peace efforts and end Israeli aggression. It stressed that peace cannot be achieved without a Gaza ceasefire and an end to what it called Israel's use of siege and starvation to force Palestinians from their land, a policy Egypt firmly rejects. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has arrived in Doha for a ministerial meeting ahead of the Arab Islamic Emergency Summit. The preparatory gathering was called after Israel's attack on Qatar and seeks to forge a unified stance among Arab and Islamic states. Ministers are expected to discuss urgent measures of solidarity with Doha and coordinate positions before leaders convene at the summit. Abdulati reaffirmed Egypt's support for Qatar and the importance of collective action to defend regional stability. Foreign ministers of Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Pakistan have stressed Arab and Islamic unity ahead of Monday's emergency summit in Doha. In phone talks, the ministers called for continued coordination in politics, diplomacy and economics to safeguard regional security. They said solidarity is vital at this critical moment as the region faces escalating tensions. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has warned that of what he called unprecedented existential threats facing Egypt and the wider Arab region. Speaking at Maspiru Salon, Abdulati said Egypt is facing challenges from all strategic directions for the first time in its modern history. He cited the crisis in Syria that threatens state stability, Lebanon's internal turmoil and maritime disputes linked to vast offshore gas reserve. Abdulati echoed the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's warning that conspiracies are being plotted against Egypt and the Arab world, but stressed the state's national institutions are strong enough to protect its borders, water security and strategic interests. He added that while the threats are severe, Egyptians should remain confident that their country will not allow any party to compromise its sovereignty or its vital resources. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has met with the Minister of Endowment, Osama al-Azhari, to discuss closer cooperation between the two ministries. Abdulati praised the ministry's role abroad in strengthening Egypt's position in the Arab and Islamic worlds. He highlighted the contribution of Egyptian imams in spreading true Islamic teachings, tolerance and combating extremism. The meeting underscored ongoing coordination, including training programs or foreign preachers and sending envoys to lead Ramadan prayers overseas. Both ministers agreed to maintain joint efforts in support of national interests. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has met Khaled Anani, the country's candidate for the UNESCO Director General, to review campaign progress. During the meeting, Anani said he has successfully concluded visits to all member states of the UNESCO Executive Board after 2 years of outreach, securing growing support for Egypt's bid. The talks also covered preparations for the campaign's next stop in Paris ahead of October 2025 election. Abdulati reaffirmed the Foreign Ministry's full backing, stressing Egypt sees the candidacy as a national, Arab and African priority. He said the country's leading role in education, science and culture makes it well placed to head the organization. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has met Namibia's International Relations and Trade Minister Salma Asfala Mosayavi to discuss strengthening bilateral cooperation. Abdelhati praised historic ties between the two countries, stressing Egypt's keenness to expand economic, trade and development partnerships. Talks focused on opportunities in pharmaceuticals, food security, energy, construction, ports, roads and tourism, along with training and scholarships provided by Egypt's development agency. The minister also underscored coordination on African and international issues, including UN Security Council reform and peace and security efforts. The Namibian minister thanked Egypt for its continued support in capacity building and technical assistance and expressed her country's interests in expanding cooperation with Egyptian companies to meet shared development goals. Prime Minister Mustafa Madboudi has inspected ongoing projects around the Grand Egyptian Museum ahead of its official opening in November. Madboudi toured the site with senior ministers, including those for transport, tourism and civil aviation, as well as army engineering officials overseeing the project. He stressed the government's commitment to completing work around the museum and all access roads in time for November 1st inauguration. The Prime Minister said preparations are underway for a global celebration that will showcase Egypt's ancient heritage in a landmark event reflecting the grandeur of its civilization. Egypt's drug authority has taken part in the Area 2025 conference on artificial intelligence in pharmaceuticals hosted in South Korea with the World Health Organization. Authority head Ali El-Ghamraoui praised the event as a chance to deepen ties with Seoul and the WHO, stressing Egypt's role as Africa's largest pharmaceutical market. He highlighted the country's advanced regulatory framework, recognized by the organization at level 3, and its strong local industry covering 90% of domestic needs. Egypt has showcased a gateway for global partners to African markets. Officials said the authority will use lessons from the conference to enhance drug policies, encourage investment, and ensure access to safe and effective medicines for patients in Egypt, Africa, and worldwide. Egypt's Social Solidarity Ministry says more than £250 million in grants have been provided to civil society groups over the past 6 months. Minister Mariam Morsi received a report showing the support fund for NGO projects allocated £257.6 million between March and August to 206 associations nationwide. The largest share, nearly £98 million, went to emergency relief, while significant funds also supported disability programs, elderly and family care, social defense initiatives. Officials said the fund's goal is to boost the efficiency and impact of NGOs through sustainable development projects backed by financial, technical and digital support. New online platforms are also set to be launched soon to improve services for associations, unions and volunteers. Egypt's health ministry says more than 86 million free medical services have been delivered in just 2 months under the 100 Days of Health campaign. Launched on July 15th, the campaign provided services nationwide through 12 healthcare sector workers working together to boost efficiency and expand coverage. Officials said more than 1.3 million services have been offered on Thursday alone, including over 336,000 to the primary care sector. Health Minister Khaled Abdel Ghaffar said the initiative reflects Egypt's commitment to strengthening the national health system and ensuring universal health care access. That's the end of our news bulletin for this hour. Here's a quick recap of today's top stories. The CC reviews banking performance and urges boost to dollar inflows and reserves. Egypt welcomes UN resolution endorsing New York declaration on two-state solution. And Egypt stresses Arab-Islamic unity ahead of Doha summit. That's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Q News for the latest developments.